Fill your walls with arts and decorations. Bid for the right paintings, but also leave the right ones to push their scores up in Art Society.
Today we'll be teaching you how to play Art Society, game designed by Mitch Wallace and published by Mighty Boards.
And hello everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant from the Dice Tower.
Now let's get to the game.
In Art Society, players are art collectors trying to bid on and gain the best art they can for their galleries. Players will use their paddles to place bid for the draft order, grabbing the best paintings they can and increasing the value of the type of painting left over. Players then work to arrange their newfound paintings as artfully as possible in their galleries. Whoever scores the most overall points from their art and arrangements will be the winner. To set up, each player takes a player board which will be represented by a certain icon, and then takes its matching scoring pieces and set of paddle cards. There are 20 of these and they range in number from 1 to 20. Give each player a starting painting, which has this back, and the player places it onto the player board so that it covers at least one of these star spaces. Unused starters are set out of the game. Shuffle the 4 white starting bid cards and deal 1 face up to each player. Whoever is the lowest takes the gavel as the starting auctioneer. Place the museum board in the centre of the table. These 4 markers represent the 4 different types of art, and their prestige will be tracked on this scoring track. To begin the game, all of these markers are placed beside the board at 0. Nearby, you'll also have these 7 value markers ranging in value from 3 to 9. Either on the table or left in the box insert, separate all of the other art tiles by their size, which will also be the numbers on their backs. Shuffle them all into face-down piles. The various smaller double-sided pieces showing these shield icons are called decor, and they can all be kept together in this section of the box. All of these represent the tiles which you'll be gaining through the game and adding to your player board. You're now ready to play. Art Society is played in rounds, and each round represents a single auction in which each player will purchase 1 piece of art and hang it on their wall. Each round is played in 5 phases: prepare auction, place bids, acquire and place paintings, increase prestige, and round end. First is preparing the auction. The current auctioneer, that is the player who has the gavel, chooses a number of face-down art pieces from the supply equal to the number of players in the game plus 1. These may be chosen in any size and shape combination. These art pieces are grouped by value below the museum board and placed below the matching value markers. Only once all art pieces have been selected and arranged do you flip them all face up. Players now simultaneously look through their hands of paddle cards and choose what they wish to bid on this particular auction. After choosing a number, players place the card face down onto either their starting card in the first round or on their stack of previously bid cards in all subsequent rounds. Each card in your 20-card deck may be played at most once per game, and so you'll want to pick the best moments to bid high and to bid low. Once all players have placed their bids, flip the cards face up and determine the bidding order from highest to lowest. In the case of a tie, you look at the next cards below the cards just placed. So here black would be ahead of grey. If those cards were tied, you'd go to the next card below that, and so on until the tie is broken. Now, in bid order, each player chooses one of the paintings which they wish to take for this round. Step 3 is to place your new painting onto your wall. Many factors will go into this decision, but there are only 3 hard and fast rules which must be met. Firstly, the painting must be placed so that at least one of its edges is orthogonally adjacent to a tile already on your wall. This or this would be legal, but this would not be, and nor would this. Secondly, it must fit entirely within your wall. Had I taken this painting, I would not be able to place it like so. Thirdly, you must hang the painting in the correct orientation, meaning that this coloured painting type icon is at the bottom. This would not be legal, and as you'd quickly find, it doesn't properly align with the grid of your wall. Each piece of art has two distinguishing features which are going to influence how you choose to place it. These are the type, represented by the coloured icon, and the style of frame. Neither of these features impacts the legality of any placement, it's only how many points and bonuses you may get which are influenced by these. Generally speaking, you will want to keep artworks of the same type away from each other on your wall. If there is any orthogonal adjacency between two artworks of the same type, this is considered a faux pas. This significantly reduces that artwork's endgame score, and so in most cases you will try to avoid that. This placement, on the other hand, is not considered a faux pas. On the other hand, you want to create adjacency with frames of matching types. Anytime you place a tile, count the number of matching frames which it is adjacent to. So here it's 1, while with this placement it would be 2. Now take any single decor tile from the display whose number of shields is equal or less than the number of frame matches you just made, and place that into any legal space on your board as well. Decor tiles only go up to 3 shields. And in the rare case that you make 4 or more frame matches at once, then you can take any combination of decor tiles which add up to the number of matches you made. If you ever gain a painting or decor tile and you don't want to place it just yet, you can have your assistant hang on to it. The assistant may hold one tile at a time, and regardless of this outline, it may be one of any size. You may then later place the assistant's painting either immediately after placing another tile on the wall, or immediately upon gaining another tile. In this case, you would play the assistant's tile and then either play your new tile or give your new tile to the assistant. Phase 4 of each round is to increase prestige. There will be one undrafted painting from the auction, and place that painting next to its coloured section of the museum board. Then increase the prestige marker for this type of painting a number of steps equal to the value of that painting. Two prestige trackers cannot share the same space. If I were to move this 5 value red would attempt to move 5 steps forward, but landing on another's space would move backwards until the next empty space. Finally, to end the round, hand the gavel to the next player clockwise, who will be auctioneer in the next round. As the game wears on, it will become more and more difficult to fit the larger tiles onto your wall. If you ever draft a painting tile which doesn't fit, then go through the following 3 steps. Firstly, you may optionally give this painting to your assistant. If your assistant is holding a painting, then you may choose to move that one to the wall if you can, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you're unable to give the tile to your assistant or choose not to, then check all of the paintings of the same type currently next to the museum board, and if there are any paintings there which do fit on your wall, you must make an exchange, placing this new tile whether you want to or not. Do not adjust the prestige marker for that art type. Note that you may only ever exchange the new tile you gained, not the one your assistant is currently holding. If neither of these options results in a valid placement, then put the newly gained painting beside your player board. This is now called an excess painting. This will be worth negative points, but as a consolation, immediately take a 1x1 decor tile and place it. Note that these 3 steps apply only to painting tiles when you gain them. If you gain a decor tile which you cannot fit, remember that you can always choose to take a smaller decor than the one you're entitled to. And if you can't even fit a 1x1 decor because your whole wall is full, you simply don't gain the decor. The end of the game can be triggered in one of 3 ways. Firstly, if any player completely fills in their wall. Secondly, if a player ever gets a second excess painting. Or thirdly, if 20 rounds have been played and all players are now out of paddles. In each case, finish the current round and then proceed to final scoring. Rank all 4 art types by their prestige. The highest prestige goes on to the 5 times multiplier, then the 4, then the 3, then the 2. Each painting on your wall, which is not part of a faux pas, now scores points based on this multiplier. Here I have 6 red paintings for 12 points, 5 green paintings for 15 points, 3 blue paintings for 12 points, and I have 4 yellow paintings, but these 3 are adjacent. They represent a faux pas, so only this one scores for 5 points. Next, check the viewer's eye line. On your empty board, that's these 3 rows, which have the highlighted space. Each one of the highest prestige type of painting, which is partially or fully within the eyeline rows, scores a bonus 3 points, even if it's part of a faux pas. So here I have 2 yellows in eyeline for 6 points. Each decor on your wall scores 1 point per shield. Adding up all of this decor is worth 17 points. A player whose gallery is completely filled scores a bonus 5 points. Each corner space which is not filled shows the number -2, and this is worth -2 points. Finally, players lose 2 points for each excess painting, not including the one being held by the assistant. The player with the highest score wins. If tied, add up all of the remaining paddle cards in your hand, and whoever has the highest total value breaks the tie, and if still tied, victory is shared. And that's how to play Art Society.
Thank you so much for watching. Everything you do will help us, every single view, every time you like the video. Let us know if you have any questions and comments, and see you next time. Bye!